Hey guys, I woke up this morning feeling a little bit under the weather and I took my vitamins because I normally don't take them. But the weather has been crazy here. It's hot one day, it's cold the other. And I think I'm coming down with something. So because I made a shit ton of food last night, there was a lot of leftovers. So I'm gonna make some veggie beef soup. I know I've done the Cuban style soup before and it's on the IGTV. But I wanted to do like the traditional American veggie beef. Go ahead and put your pot on saute. Once that says hot, you're gonna drizzle some olive oil on top and you're going to go ahead and start browning your meat. I'm using the beef stew meat, which is also used for the carne con papa. It's kind of frozen, not really. I've had it thawed out for 2 hours, but still, some pieces are frozen. No big deal because we're gonna cook it anyway. So once the pot is hot, you're gonna go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of olive oil and you'll start browning your meat. Once that happens, I'll tell you what spices to put in there. While your beef is starting to brown, you're gonna go ahead and chop up an onion. If you have a huge onion, you just use half or a quarter, 3/4 of it. If it's not, then just use the whole thing if you have a small onion. I usually don't chop up my onion very small. I do it in big, huge chunks like this. Just because I actually strain the onion later on. I don't eat the onions whole. Sometimes I do, depending on how much time I have, but today I don't have much time to crush anything, so I'll strain most of the big chunks out and the rest I'll leave in there. So while we're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and toss in the onions, as well as finish tossing in the onions here. She's supposed to be taking a nap. She never took naps before, and now I'm trying to get her to take a nap at 1 because, okay, go take a nap, because class is at 3:30 and she's been going 40 minutes into class and saying she's tired to the teacher. And I'm not paying an arm and a leg for her to be tired, so I'm working on it, guys. You're also gonna add on top of your onions, a tablespoon of garlic, a minced garlic. I'm just gonna finish the jar here. It's probably a little bit more, but that's okay because garlic is always good. Haley, go sit down.
No.
Go ahead and mix that up. Why did I have this little crappy spoon here? You don't necessarily have to brown your beef unless you really want to. I kind of always do it a little bit with the onions, the garlic. I'm also gonna add 1 teaspoon of oregano, a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper. Damn, it doesn't fit in there. Hey, stop. Half a teaspoon of, sorry guys, I know it's loud. Half a teaspoon of black pepper. Also sprinkle in some parsley, some dried parsley. I like to use a lot of it because it gives an amazing flavor to me. That's a preference. And then you're gonna mix that all up while you're still browning your beef. Now it might seem hard for you to brown your beef with all the stuff, but I like to brown it with all the spices already. So I just kind of leave it in there for a good 5 minutes. Just let it sit, stir it every 2 minutes just so it doesn't burn on the bottom. But you do not have to brown your beef for this recipe necessarily, so don't feel the need you need to. I just do it for the hell of it. All right, once you start smelling that yummy garlicky spice smell, for me that's usually ready to go. We're gonna start off with putting the broth in first. I am using beef broth. Actually, you know, I'm not gonna put the beef broth first. I'm gonna put the veggies in because I wanna see how much liquid is on there. So what I'm gonna do, what I did already, I cut up 3 carrots and I sliced them into medallions. And I also cut up 3 celery sticks, and we're gonna put all that into the pot. Once you also put the celery sticks, you can go ahead and add your corn. 1 can of corn. Also, I have the little gold potatoes. You can put them in whole, but so that you have more, and or that you have more volume or more potatoes in this case. You can cut them just in halves and toss them in there in halves. All right, once you've added all the veggies, you can go ahead and try to mix it up as best as you can. But it doesn't really need to be mixed because once you put the liquid in, you will be fine. So I'm gonna also add a can of diced tomatoes. You could add fresh tomatoes, that's no problem, but don't want to cut and don't have tomatoes. So I always buy these cans at Costco. They're just the Hunt's diced tomatoes. Always have it on hand for anything. So go ahead and add the diced tomatoes as well as 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of volume here. Also gonna add some bay leaves, 2 bay leaves to be exact. I never really count the bay leaves. I'm just throwing the bay leaves in there. So there's a lot of volume in here. So I need to see how much of the liquid. I've told you guys before that I never really know how much liquid I'm gonna use. I always like to have my pot, you know, mostly covered with all the veggies because I'm afraid it'll burn. So I'm just gonna use this can here for measurements. This is 15.25. So we got 8 ounces is 16. So that's 2 cups of beef broth, which I feel is not enough. I'm gonna do I think, let's be safe, let's do 3 cups of beef broth. But this all depends on how much you have in here. If you feel that you have enough liquid and it's already covering most of your food, then you have more than enough. But because I'm using a lot of volume, you have to go by what's already inside the pot. Because granted, when you start pressure cooking this is obviously gonna turn into a more soupy, liquidy format. So after everything's in, you have everything. Let me make sure I got everything in there. Sorry guys, I'm a little off because she keeps talking. Yes. Not right now, hold on. She needs to learn how to choose patience. It's one of my worst, I don't have patience, so teaching her patience is a big deal. Go ahead and close your lid, put your vent to seal, and just click on the soup setting. That's gonna give you 30 minutes of high pressure. Once that's done, you're gonna go ahead and quick release it, and your soup is ready to go. I personally like to serve this with some white rice and a little bit of lemon, and you're good. Let me know if you guys like it. I'll be showing, well, I guess I'll show you at the very end what it looks like. All right, guys, stay tuned. All right, guys, my Instant Pot beep, and I let it sit for like 10 minutes, so it naturally released on its own. But please make sure, don't try to open it unless the steam has not come out, because I had a follower think that 10 minutes, she was doing a soup, I think, and she thought that 10 minutes was enough time for it to naturally release, and wasn't good. Luckily, nothing happened, but I'm pretty sure she had to get a new pot. So make sure you quick release, even if you think that it is done. That when I mean quick release, I mean use the nozzle. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, look at the color on this. Let me use a different spoon. So here you got your veggie beef soup. Now, usually you have veggie beef soup brings a lot more vegetables, but I had what I had, so oh, you guys can't even see it. I had what I had. Look at this color, guys, and the taste, trust me, it's amazing. So I personally like to taste a piece of the meat, because if the meat is good, that means the broth is amazing. So I'm gonna get a piece of the use a kitty fork, a piece of the meat, and if the meat is good in salt and it's good in spices, then for sure the broth is fine. Here's a good piece right here. Sorry. Delicious, delicious, delicious. To me, it doesn't need anything. It's perfect. Look at the perfect color that it has. I cannot wait to eat. All right, guys, enjoy. Let me know if you have any questions.